All right, it is your friend Justin here, and I wanted to make a quick video about someone who's gained a lot of heat, really, especially in 2024, is Pastor Dowell. Pastor Dowell is someone I discovered back in 2018. I've been subscribed to him ever since. The man has really changed my life for the better. Really made me change the way I think, made me do my research on things, kind of like he always preaches. To do your own research on stuff and to be an independent thinker and such, and how to be prepared, especially in times of, panic, whether if there's some sort of emergency or whatever, like COVID, for example, that came out of nowhere and, you couldn't get to the store, this and that, be prepared. A whole laundry list of things, and then especially spiritual stuff, of course, really opened my eyes to Israelites, especially Black Hebrew Israelites, and all that whole rabbit hole there, and the real color of Jesus Christ, Yeshua Hamashiach, and all that. And listen, I'm no Bible scholar. I am no saint by any stretch of the imagination, but he's really enlighten me on who the people of melanin skin color are. And there are other people I follow on YouTube that speak about things similar to him. But anyway, what I really wanted to talk about when it comes to Pastor Dow is this whole thing with him and Ringo's TV, and then the whole thing with Pastor Rufus and all that. And listen, I have no affiliation with any of these people. I've never spoken to any of these people at all. For all I know, this could be a whole sham just for all of them to somehow, some way get views or whatever. So you never really know. I'm just some guy from New Jersey, okay, who makes videos about the truth, who makes videos about stuff that's really taking place in this world. And like I said, I'm no Bible scholar. I've read the whole entire Bible on my own, which is something like Pastor Dowell says to do, and not follow one of these 501c3 churches. But something I've noticed with Pastor Dow after watching him for so long is this is not the same man, simply put, who I first discovered. And, when you watch his old videos from like 10, 15 years ago, he's just a different person. He doesn't have this arrogance to him. He doesn't have this chip on his shoulder like he's got something to prove. Because Pastor Dow, I mean, he used to make all these informational videos, right? I was constantly learning from him, and now ever since I would say about 2 years ago, this is when I started to notice this. So what was that, 2022 around there? This is 4 years of, and I still watch him. I'm still subscribed to him on all that. Um, but I just don't take him as serious as I used to. I don't watch him as much as I used to. Pastor Dow used to be my go-to for anything really, but the man that I'm seeing today, when his new stuff, he's talking about politics like Trump and Biden. Listen, dude, like I know maybe you're trying to please certain people by talking a certain way, but we all know that politics isn't real. It's not real. So I don't know why he talks about it like it's real. Like everything that's going on is staged. You know what I'm talking about, and I think he knows that, but he's trying to play politics to please maybe people who don't understand how deep it goes, or people in the ministry, so they stay. So I don't know what's going on there, but that's the first thing I noticed. That I was like, yo, this man is not shutting up about Trump and this stuff. Oh, we were better off under Trump. Like, all right, dude, we were better off 4 years ago. But guess what? It doesn't matter who's in the office, and I feel like he's smart enough to know this. Uh, it doesn't matter who you put in the office because ultimately it's the Federal Reserve, right? And he knows this. Like he's made videos about the Federal Reserve, gold and silver, all this stuff. Like he knows that presidents are selected, not elected. But anyway, he just goes on tangents about politics all the time as if it's real. So that was the first thing I noticed. Second thing I noticed is this guy was very hyper masculine. At first, I thought like, oh, maybe I'm just pussified and I'm just like my testosterone levels are really low, this and that. But no, it's just Pastor Dow is an alpha male. He is the definition of toxic masculinity. That is what Pastor Dow is. He's the definition of toxic masculinity because this guy is a control freak. Let's be real. He's got security systems all over his communities. He's got, he can see all the text messages that go out. He takes your phone away. I think he acts like a central bank himself because he's got access to all the money. So he basically kind of does what the United, and like I heard too, even that he's got recordings, like he could hear what people are saying that are on the community. So listen, I wouldn't be surprised at all if that's true, even though that sounds extreme. And Pastor Dow might justify it in somehow, some way that he is doing it, even if it is 100% true. Um, it's just that this man is drunk off power. He has had a lot of success somehow, some way. Maybe he's funded by someone in particular. Maybe he's part of a bigger agenda. Maybe he is. But also, let's just say that he really did build up this successful community the exact way he says he does. This is clearly a man who's drunk off power. And he drinks a lot too. I mean, those of you who watch Pastor Dow, you know this guy is drinking all the time. And people that made videos about it, such as Pastor Rufus and Ringos, and I've seen all their videos about it. They're talking about it too. But it's just the fact that, and then I've watched a ton of other videos too, because when I first started watching Pastor Dow, I never um, really believe, because I would never know here's what's funny is I would never know that there was all these like hundreds if not thousands of videos about Pastor Dow, of all these people making these accusations towards him. And so he just made all these videos about it. It's like nonstop. Like I said, he's got like a chip on his shoulder. He feels the need to bring it up. So it's almost like it's making me suspicious at the amount of times that he was bringing it up. Like, oh, like these people are making videos about me, this and that. They made this allegation, that allegation, and the fact that he's got to ask all the saints, and the saints, in particular, the women look like people just look intimidated by him, and he is intimidating. The way he talks, the way he carries himself. I don't know if you guys have ever watched his live streams of when he actually does the services. I've watched a couple of them. They tend to be really long. But in the very beginning, when he first walks in, I mean, it's intimidating. He's walking in, he's checking everyone out. He's an intimidating pastor. And when they're singing, when he's playing guitar, he's looking around, like he's making sure everyone's doing what they're supposed to do. So it's and then all and what I was saying before is all these videos that come out about him being an adulterer, taking people's wives, this and that. Well, it's pretty clear that he did, right? Not only is there allegations, but there's proof because he has some of their lives, right? Or these women stayed on the community. And the reason these women would gravitate towards a guy like Pastor Dow is because Pastor Dow he represents power. He has the power in the community. He is the richest guy there, essentially, right? He's got the nice home. He's the one that everyone pays homage to. He's the leader of the whole thing. He is the alpha male, but in a toxic way. But these women don't care because you know why? They get protection. They get a roof over their head. They get food. They get water. They get knowledge. And in a way, they themselves get power on the community level, right? So anyway, all I'm gonna say, because I don't want to make this video like really long here. I'm a no one, okay? I really am, but I'm a well researched guy. I'll say that. I do my research on things. I'm not ignorant. I know exactly what's taking place in this world. I'm under no illusion, like Pastor Dow would say. Um, and I've just been a spectator of Pastor Dow for the past 8 years. I guess it's been. I mean, when did 2018, 2019, all right, so 6 years, excuse me. So I've been watching him for 6 years. And again, 4 years into watching him, I started noticing that Pastor Dow seems different. This isn't the same guy that, that was motivating me, that was teaching me, that was the guy I look up to. Because believe me, I don't look up to Pastor Dow anymore the way I used to. I think Pastor Dow has a lot of extremely good information and can teach a whole lot of young men like myself, because I'm in my late 20s. He could totally teach men my age younger or 30s 40s whoever he could be a good teacher, but I think Pastor Dow is drunk off the power he has. It appears to me that a lot of people, not only in Straightway but that have been watching Pastor Dow or spectating him, that they're noticing that this man is falling apart, because that's what it looks like he just can't stop bringing attention to the fact that people make videos about him and allegations. um, so it's weird, he acts very weird to me. He acts like he's my age, let's put it that way. I know he claims he's got all this testosterone in his body, and that all these men are feminine, this and that, let's debate this and that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I see people challenge Pastor Dow to debates, and he just doesn't answer, or he just says, "Oh yeah, we'll do it next year." He's got a weird excuse, man, but he knows his image is on the line. So it appears to me that Pastor Dow is way too full of himself. He is very cocky. He's got testosterone levels through the roof. Again, he is the definition of toxic masculinity. If murder was legal, I believe Pastor Dow would be about it because obviously they follow the Old Testament, and the Old Testament talks about putting people to death. There was that whole police thing with I forgot who the guy's name was exactly, but there was that whole thing with the 14-year-old there. The guy's father said he'd kill him, he'd put him to death if the laws in the country didn't allow it. Um, so listen, you got a whole lot of weird stuff, a whole lot of weird stuff about the Saints doing all the work. Pastor Dow really does nothing. He's the one who sits around all day and does nothing and gets massages by women while the Saints do all the work. He gets all the money. It's basically a pyramid scheme. It's an occult, and I don't mean it's a cult like in a bad way. I would never join Straightway, especially after spectating them for so long. Um, but that's just me. Maybe you feel otherwise. So I heard that these saints too. It's like they're living in like cabins or whatever. Or they got like huts or whatever. They don't even have bathrooms. They got to use buckets to go to the bathroom. And they don't have money. All like I said, Pastor Dowell acts like the central bank. And I'm sure if you want to leave, but what I heard is if you want to leave, it's very hard. Even though they make it seem like if you don't want to be there, okay, just go. It's not. It doesn't really work that way. So they're also out in the middle of nowhere in Tennessee. So it's like even if someone wants to leave, where are they going to go? You know, it's you know, I like Pasadena. I'm not trying to bash him here. Overall, I like him. I think he is a manipulative guy. I think he got me under his spell a lot. But overall, did I learn a lot from this guy? I did. I really truly did. But this is just a guy who he won't ever admit he's wrong. You've never heard him ever say that he's done anything wrong or did anything wrong. He never does any wrong. It's always other people that are doing wrong and never him. And like I said, this is just a guy who is completely he's lost his mind with all the power he has, and all these people who would worship him and would probably die for him. He knows he's got protection, so he's just running his mouth nonstop because he can. I mean, no one's going to physically stop him because who's going to go on Straightway and stop him? Pastor Dow is always carrying weapons, as he said. Never keep your pistol 3 feet away from you, or whatever, more than 3 feet away from you, right? So he's obviously armed. So people know that if you watch him and aren't going to physically test him. But Pastor Roof is saying, hey, Pastor Dow, if you actually want to square up, let's do it. So let's see what kind of a man Pastor Dow is. The Mr. Military guy, and that's another thing. He's always talking about the military, uh, acting like he's very involved in it, and he probably hasn't done any military training in 30 years, I guarantee. But he likes to act like the Saints are all secured up, and if you step foot on the land, they already know what to do and what positions where to be at. So he could be telling the truth. I don't know 100%. Again, this whole Pastor Rufus Ringo thing, this could be a giant sham for all of us just normal people who have less than 100 subscribers on YouTube, like myself. Um, so anyway, I think you get the point of what I'm saying here. Let me know what you guys think. Again, this isn't me trying to excuse me, Pastor Dow. I still watch him to this day. I'm just saying, I have noticed. I was watching him today. I'm just like, yo, why is this guy talking about politics all the time? I'm just like, dude, like, you're like he is either sold out, Pastor Dow. He might have sold out and just pushing some sort of agenda right now because he does have a decent sized following. He's a public figure. He's not super famous or anything, but he's got a decent amount of people that he's influencing. So again, Justin here. Let me know what you think. Stay tuned for other topics such as truth, and I can even make videos about other content creators that I watch a lot that I get good information from. Um, but anyway, this is your friend Justin, and I hope you all have a good day.